welcome to Just For You. This is your man Sunil Wayne Fella, and I'm so glad to be with you today. But I want to say to my subscribers, thank you so much for returning and your consistency. I ask that you kindly share my videos and that you like them each time they come out. And those of you who have not subscribed, I want to say thank you so much for at least stopping by. And I will hope that you kindly subscribe. I've been a bit upset. I'm not going to use the word angry because it's a very strong word. But I've been very upset about some of the information that I've been receiving from Liberia concerning the past elections, and now we are faced with the runoff. As I said in one of my videos that Mr. Cummings was cheated when the elections were held, and someone wrote and said I was a troublemaker. It is unfortunate that when our situation is not in your camp, you feel that whoever speaks about the ills and the dishonesty, the deceptiveness, then that person is wicked. The person is not nice. The person is not good. The person is bad. He's a troublemaker. But we had our representative from Georgia, the state of Georgia in the United States. He talked about good trouble. And sometimes it's okay for us to say the truth. And when we get in trouble for the truth that is being told, then it is good trouble. Won't you believe that? Won't you agree with me? I've been getting some information about what happened when Mr. Cummings and the rest of those who were running for the highest office of the land of Liberia, how tricky and how diabolical and how deceptive and dishonest people were to him. I understand there were people in his hierarchy, the echelon of the CPP, who were embedded into his camp by another party. That is totally detestable and unacceptable. I understand there were people who went to him and were trained by the CPP as poll watchers, not knowing they were from a different party that sent them for this training under the pretext that they were supporting the CPP. And when they went to the polling place station, these people went as CPP people, but there were two things that happened. One, as I understand or I understood, they went in and said they were CPP poll watchers. But then when it came to a time when they asked these very people, who are they going to vote for? They said CDC. You can imagine how painful that was for Mr. Cummings and those that actually were his true followers. I also got the information that those who were truly CPP representative or poll watchers, they were flipped. They were changed with a different group of people. How did that happen? How did that happen? And they had one person who, when the people checked or put a thumb or put an X to whoever they were voting for, there were only one person on the other side of the table who were receiving or looking at these forms, and they were putting them in to the various bands. And that person might have been for another party. Because it is unimaginable how could over 3,000 women marched in Monrovia, on the streets of Monrovia. How could Anthony Tottenham Stadium be packed, even though not to capacity, but there were so many people there. I even watched a video of a young man in at Waterside who had on the CPP t-shirt, but he had a CDC bangle. And when he was asked, are you going to vote for the CPP? He said, no. I'm only wearing a t-shirt, but I'm going to vote CDC. Do you all see the deceptiveness, the dishonesty? How greedy people are? How disheartening it is for a person to hit another man like that? This man spent his resources that he sweated for. He put his life and blood into it. And you came and he took his money and bought t-shirts. He paid people way and bought vehicles and motorbikes so that they can run his campaign for 7 years, good years. Thought the Liberian people were on his side. He was going to be one of the three, and he was pretentiously one of the three, according to Liberians. Or those of you who were so dishonest to treat him the way you treated him and treated the party the way you did. There were those who had a special campaign against the CPP, like Henry Costa, that most of you Liberians feel he's a renowned YouTuber or media guru or whatever you call him. He's a dangerous man. And is this the person who wanted to be vice president of Liberia? And because they didn't give it to him, they gave it to another dangerous man, according from the UP. So now he's angry and saying everything out of the word that he can say about these people. But he was okran with them. He was attached to them. He was part and parcel of them, doing everything, being deceitful and dishonest, and being rude about it, cussing people left and right, in people's family, their wives and children. And he was saying the worst things about them. And this is the man you Liberians are praising. Now he left the UP after using all those expressions on the president of Liberia, George Manawia. He now turned to George Manawia, have flipped the carpet, and he's now saying detestable things about Joseph Boakai, and you all clap and believe him when he said these things. This is a man who speaks from two sides of his mouth. One head is in face, is in front, and one is behind. He's a deceitful and dishonest creature. But I always wonder why us Liberians love wicked people like Henry Costa. Why do we? Why do we love wicked people like Mr. Boakai and his entourage, people who are around him? As he said, he's going to dance with the devil. Now he have turned against Boakai and he's with George. We are supporting him and running campaign for him. It is so sad how Liberians are suffering so much that they can do anything to succeed. Dishonesty. To succeed. If they have to kill, they will kill just to succeed. Yes, you can call me a troublemaker, but I want to be a good troublemaker. The two that are running, they are not qualified to be president of Liberia. They are not. We see the examples. Liberia is retrogressing. It is depleting. Liberia is bad off. Garbage is everywhere. Things are unraveling so bad that people just can't understand. We want to speak good about our country, but the leadership in Liberia is bad. The governance is so bad off that we can't even add a word to it to give it an adjective. But these are the kind of people who are so dishonest and love to cheat and try to get what they can for themselves, and they don't care about no one else. They don't care how people feel, whether they hurt this family, whether they hurt that family. They just don't care. All they want is things for themselves. Liberians, what's wrong with us? What's wrong with us? Why don't we like change? Why do we want to always wallow in the mud like a pig? Why can't we be like a cat who, when they get into dirt, they want to clean up themselves effective immediately? Why, Liberians? That's the question. Why some of you love to live in poverty, love to live beyond the poverty level, and live in garbages, and to be dishonest, and agree with people who are so dishonest and greedy, and you try to support them. Look what happened to Cummings. That's why he said he's not going to support anyone. He's going to sit and not support any party. Even though he was the standard bearer of CPP and the standard bearer of ANC, but they have the executive leaders who make the decisions whether to support George Weah or support Joseph Boycott, and they have done what they could. But how could it be so bad to a man who had a platform to bring change to Liberia? People writing and say, but Cummings will never become president of Liberia. Are you God? Is your mouth prayer book? Are you the one who determines the destiny of another man? You better try to suffer and struggle for your own destiny, because you are suffering. That's why you make these statements. You don't want somebody breaking something that you can get your earnest living from. You want to continue stealing. That's why you make these statements, because the man said, I will prosecute everyone who corrupts. And because you don't want it, you don't want to be prosecuted, so you make statements erroneously that he will never be president of Liberia. But I got good news for you, brother. Or maybe it might be bad news for you, and I hate to bust your bubbles. 2029, Cummings is going to become president of Liberia. I bet you. And I'm telling you the truth. I decree it and declare in the name of Jesus, Cummings will become president of the Republic of Liberia come 2029, and nothing anyone can do about it. I don't care how much they want to cheat. Cummings is going to win the presidency, because God has seen your wickedness. Why will you people treat a fellow Liberian like that? Some of you joined his party, pretended that you were joining his party. Now know you only came to deceive him, to get what you could get out of him, because they say Cummings got money. You guys can run after money for whatever reason. You don't care about nobody else. You don't care about what's in front of you, or how you're going to pain someone, how you're going to hurt somebody, how you're going to grieve the heart of another. You don't care. All you want is to get what you can get. And that's why Liberia is what it is today. All our neighboring countries have improved, are running, and we are still like a snail, because of the kind of heart, the kind of people we are. This man lay out his aspiration for you Liberians, for us Liberians, to clean the city within the first 100 days, to take all the garbage out, to bring good healthcare system, good educational system, good transport system, good agriculture, that we can have farms and be able to grow food, to be self-sufficient, to have jobs where you can earn honestly, not to steal and corrupt. Because as it is said, to work in government is to serve, not to steal. But is that what Liberians are doing? You who are in authority, or those of you who are speaking out and saying erroneous and sarcastic things about other people, hurting other people. People were killed during this election, and now we are going down to the runoff. Are we going to steal the runoff too? Are we going to steal the runoff too, as we stole it from Mr. Cummings? Because this election should have gone with UP and Cummings, not with CDC. But you guys diabolically stole it from him, changing people here and there. How can you be trained as a CPP and poll watcher, and you go and say, no, I'm a CPP poll watcher, but I'm going to vote for the CDC? How possible is that? How could you be so wicked and do that to somebody after spending his time and money on you? That's why you guys will never go anywhere. You will always suffer because of your attitude towards people. You will remain down there because people who are excited about someone else becoming somebody better, in essence, to help you. And if you support that person and the person wins, you are blessed by God. And that person will see through you and know that you are a good person. But if you are so deceitful and dishonest, you are wicked, you will always remain below. You will remain below the belt. Because of your kind of heart you have. You are never excited to see someone win or someone becoming successful. You are so greedy and so wicked. And a lot of you in Liberia, you are those kind of people today. Those of you who are crossing carpet like Fagon, like Fatty Guy and his brother, like and Henry Costa and Stanton Weatherspoon. All of these people, they are all criminals. Even those that are in leadership today in Liberia, those who want to become leaders, they are all criminal syndicates. They are all gangsters because they want what they can get for themselves and they don't care about anyone else. And whatever means they can do it to get it, they will do it. I'm really upset because it is so painful. Some of us spend our money on CPP. We contributed to ANC Global. And to hear these things that are coming out of Liberia, where you people oppressed a man who had a very good mindset for the Liberian people, and you cheated him. I don't have proof, but from the information that I'm getting, it seems that it actually happened. A man with all of this. In fact, there were people saying in Liberia there were 3 that was the leading parties. Cummings were one of them, and Cummings had less than 2% of the vote in Liberia. Appeton and others who nobody even knew whether they existed. Now he has the audacity to endorse Joseph Boakai. And parties are splitting. ALP and CPP and different parties are splitting. This one support UP, this one support CDC. Can you really read through the lines? It is all because of greed. It's all because of selfishness. It's all because of what I can get. And I will take whatever I can get from you. I want to join this. And some people are giving money out to these people, trying to put them into their camp. Because they were on the other side. And they insulted you. Now they are on your side and insulting the other side. And it's all cheering. Liberians. Liberians, how many times did I call? How many times? Please tell me in my comment section. Why are some of us so wicked? Why are some of us so dishonest and so diabolical? We always never see the good. It's just or arm away from us, but we don't see the good in someone else. But because we are so greedy and wicked, it is okay. Whatever we do to hurt someone else, it is no problem. But you're going to get what is coming to you. You're going to get what is coming to you. I promise it. We need to change our attitude, Liberians. We need to change our mindset. We need to love one another. We need to care about one another. We need to be dishonest with little things. Then will we begin to seek higher heights, and we definitely will reach that level. Where we tend to pull other people down with the crab syndrome. Where we don't want anyone else to go up, but only us. But guess what? As you keep pulling them down, you are going down alone. It is sad. It is sad for a man to be treated the way you Liberians treated him. Those who claim and professed to be his supporters. Those in the higher up of his organization, his party, not knowing you were only planted there because of money. And you deceived this man, Mr. Cummings. But it is stated, what is for you will see your face. May God bless the people of Liberia, and may God bless the Republic of Liberia.